going down in the alley, trying to save my cold today.
Hi everybody, it's me, Robin. Thank you very much for checking out our Broccoli is Sexy very first video segment. With fall right around the corner, I wanted to make an amazingly quick and easy butternut squash soup. I'm even going to say that this is heart healthy. Our main ingredient in this soup is butternut squash. Hi, I'm Butternut Squash. I'm low in fat, and I deliver an ample dose of dietary fiber, making me exceptionally heart-friendly choice. We just won't show him the knife behind him. Our second ingredient is garlic, and our cardiovascular system benefits from the garlic's anti-inflammatory properties. Our next main ingredient is apples, and the cardiovascular benefits of apples are well documented in research studies. Google it! This is seriously the easiest, well, once you master the peeling and chopping of the squash, and most delicious soup around. So we're going to go ahead and start by peeling and cubing our squash. With my squash, I like to cut off the tops and the ends before I start to peel it. It gives me a better base. So I start by taking the top off. And usually at this point, if I'm having a hard time, I call Chris into the kitchen to cut my squash. But since he's not here, actually he's behind the camera, we'll go ahead and try this ourselves. So then I like to cut off the bottom. So yes, we're going to pause it and have Chris cut the bottom. Okay, now that he's got it started for me, I just cut the rest of the bottom off, or not. There we go. See? Now you got a nice base for your squash. Once you have your base, you can go ahead and start peeling your squash. This part's pretty easy. You just want to try to get it down to the green and yellow there. And if you want, you can actually put this in the oven to roast it with the skin still on. But we're going to go ahead and peel them all the way down. So this is what your squash should look like when you're done peeling it. You'll notice these green lines in the squash. That's what you're going to want to get to. Now, this is the most time-consuming part of making this soup, but the good news is you can buy this frozen. The next step that you want to do with your squash is cut them in half. And you're going to want to clean out the bowls. This is very similar to cleaning out your pumpkins, and all you're wanting to do is just get out all the seeds and all the stringies out of your squash. So the next step here is just slicing your squash to nice little rows here, and then from there we're going to take the squash and we're just going to cube them up. And you just want them in nice bite-sized pieces because they are going to be in a soup. Our next ingredient is our apples, and you can use Granny Smith, you can use Macintosh, you can use any apple that you favor. We're just going to go ahead and first core our apple, and then you just want to peel off the peel here and then just chop it into the bowl. The next ingredient will be 4 to 6 cloves of garlic minced. Now, of course, you can just get these pre-minced and do it, but I have a garlic press and I just love using it, so all you gotta do is just press it in. And there you go. The next ingredient ingredient you will need is your vegetable broth. Now I like to use the Kitchen Basics unsalted vegetable stock, and you're going to need about 4 cups of it for your soup and 3/4 cups of it so you can saute your garlic in it. You're going to want to make sure that your pan is nice and warm, just the same way that as if you were using oil to cook your vegetables. So just pour a little bit of your vegetable broth in. Add your garlic. And basically what you're doing is caramelizing your garlic with your vegetable broth. It's a lot healthier doing it this way than using your oils. And your garlic really tastes nice. Okay, you'll notice that the garlic has turned to a really nice brown color, and most of the liquid has been cooked off. So our next step here is to add the 4 cups of vegetable broth. Our apples. And butternut squash. Once you have everything mixed together, you're going to want to bring this to a boil. Once your soup begins to boil, you'll want to turn down your heat and let it simmer. Let it simmer for about 15 minutes or until your squash is tender. So just make sure that your squash is nice and tender. You can squish it. All right, this looks like we're ready for the next step. The last and final step of making your soup is getting your immersion blender and blending the soup till it's creamy. For those of you that still like to have a nice chunky soup, go ahead and take out some of this squash and set it aside, and then add it back in once you're done with the immersion blender. Your next step here is just to add as much cayenne pepper and black pepper that you would like for your soup. Blend that in. Now you're ready to dish it up. You can see how thick and creamy that is. The cayenne pepper adds a nice hotness to it alongside the apples. What I like to do is just sprinkle a little bit more on top. And there you go. Okay, let's see if it's husband approved.
Holy crap, that's awesome.
I'll take that as a yes. And now let's see if it's teenager approved. Austin,
What?
why don't you try the soup?
Which one?
The very first bowl. Yeah, that one. But you're going to want to blow on it.
It's really good.
It's what?
It's good.
Really now?
Yeah.
It's squash.
It's good.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed the first video, and I'm going to go and enjoy this soup.